Hi guys, this is Sadik from Dotman.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to fix the issue of WhatsApp not working on any custom or GSI ROM. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to root your custom or GSI ROM via Magisk. So let me show you how that could be done. So as of now, I'm using a Pixel OS ROM, but the steps are applicable across all the custom ROM. So first of all, I'll show the step for the custom ROM and then I'll show you how to root a GSI ROM as well. So in case of custom ROM, there exist two methods. If your ROM has its own recovery, for example, in case of Lineage OS recovery, they have their own recovery. So you have to boot your phone to the custom recovery and then simply do an ADB sideload of the Magisk zip file. So download the Magisk APK or the zip file from here and then you must simply boot to the recovery and do an ADB sideload of the Magisk zip file, and the file will then be flashed onto your phone. Then you may install the Magisk APK file and launch it. You will get a prompt, tap on OK in that prompt, and that's just about it. However, if your phone, the custom ROM does not have its own recovery, for example, in my case, I'm using a Pixel OS and it does not have its own recovery. So in that case, you will have to root the ROM via TWRP or OrangeFox. In my case, I will be using the OrangeFox recovery, but the steps are same for both the OrangeFox and TWRP recovery. Let me show you how to root the ROM via a recovery. Again, I'm repeating, if your phone has a custom recovery, such as Lineage OS Evolution X ROM, then simply do an ADB sideload, transfer the Magisk zip file over here in the platform tools directory, place the file over here, then open the CMD window and just do an ADB sideload Magisk zip, and it will then install the zip file. Then open the phone, and after that you may install the Magisk APK, tap on OK in any prompt that appears, and that's it. But in my case, I don't have a custom recovery, so I'll be flashing the recovery on my own. So for that, first and foremost, you will have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. Okay, not OEM unlocking because the bootloader is already unlocked. Just go to about phone and tap on build number 7 times. This will enable developer option. Now go to system, developer options, and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will get a prompt, tap on OK. You might get one more prompt, again tap on allow or OK. And with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So for that, download the Android SDK platform tools and extract them onto your PC. So I have extracted over here. Let me remove the other files which are of no use. So these are the files for platform tools. Now type in CMD in the address bar of platform tools and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside the platform tools directory. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to download the Magisk APK and the zip file and transfer the zip file onto your phone. And apart from that, let's first install the recovery file and then we'll flash the Magisk. So for flashing the recovery, there is one important point. So you will have to verify whether your phone has a recovery partition or not. So in this regard, I already made a separate guide as well. Just give me a second. So this is my guide. Just type in these 3 commands and then verify if your phone has a recovery partition or not. For example, in my case, my phone has a recovery A and the recovery B slot. So I'll flash the recovery in the recovery partition. But if in your case your phone does not have a recovery partition, then you will have to use the fastboot boot command to do a temporary boot to the recovery, and then you may flash the recovery zip file or the recovery IMG file in RAM disk. All these steps are given in the video. It's a 1 hour long video, or you may also refer to the guide, and everything is given here as well, as you could see. So if you could do a fastboot boot command if there is no recovery partition, and then you may flash the recovery zip file. In my case, I have a recovery partition, so I will use the flash command. So with that said, let me now download the recovery zip file. So this is the guide to root the custom ROM. So this is the recovery file. In my case, I am using the OrangeFox recovery. Transfer the recovery file inside the platform tools directory. Now open the CMD window and let me type in the command fastboot flash partition name, which is recovery, then file name, which is recovery.img, and hit enter. Okay, before that, it's quite obvious that you have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode. So type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone should now reboot into the fastboot mode. This will take just a few seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen. And once your phone is in the fastboot mode, type in fastboot devices and verify that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers onto your PC. We have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and get the job done. Once you have installed the fastboot drivers, you will then have to right click on the Windows icon and choose device manager, then expand the Android phone section and verify that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now that we are in the fastboot mode, we could now flash the recovery. So in my case, I have a recovery partition, so I will use the command fastboot flash, partition name which is recovery and file name which is recovery.img, and hit enter. If in your case you don't have a recovery partition, then you will have to use the fastboot boot command, fastboot boot recovery.img. With that said, let's now boot to the recovery. So fastboot reboot recovery and hit enter, and your phone should now reboot to the newly flashed recovery. This might take a little bit longer, which is completely normal. So let's just wait for that to happen. And once your phone is in the recovery mode, you will then have to transfer the Magisk file. Transfer both the Magisk APK and the zip file from my guide. You could download the Magisk file from here. I'm using the Magisk version 27 as of now. So let's download both the APK and the zip file. It should be somewhat here. Just give me a second. Magisk zip and the Magisk APK. Let's copy both this file and transfer the file onto my phone. And the file transfer is now done. Now go to the install section. Just give me a second. And select the Magisk zip file, swipe to flash. The flashing will take just a few seconds and it should be done now. As soon as the flashing is complete, you may then reboot to the newly flashed OS. So just tap on reboot system and your phone should now boot to the OS, but the Magisk is only installed in the backend. In the front end, Magisk is yet to be installed. So you will have to install the Magisk APK, and you might also have to do a direct install as well. So we will do all that, and then once the rooting is complete, I will also show you how to root the GSI ROM as well. Just give me a few seconds. Let's first root the custom ROM and then verify the result. And the boot up will take around 10 to 15 seconds at the very max. And we are now inside the OS. Let's now install the Magisk APK. Let me open the Files app and internal storage. Magisk APK. You will get the update option or install option. Do that. And once that is done, open the Magisk app. Then, which is over here, you might get a prompt. Tap on OK. It will now download the Magisk and wait for a few seconds for that to happen. And the app should now open in a few seconds. In my case, installing the APK did not get the job done. I have to open the Magisk placeholder app, and it's now downloading the latest Magisk APK file from the official GitHub server, and now I've got it. Let's open it. You will get a prompt, additional setup. Tap on OK. Choose direct install. Let's go. And the rooting is now complete. Now tap on reboot and your phone will now reboot to the OS. So in some cases, if you're using the custom recovery for rooting, then you will have to do this job of doing a direct install after flashing the Magisk zip file. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So with that said, our phone will now reboot to the OS, and this time around we should have obtained root and the process stands complete. So guys, this was the steps to root a custom ROM. Let me now show you how to root a GSI ROM as well. So okay, apart from using a custom recovery, you may also use the patch boot img file. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to extract the payload bin file from the custom ROM. So usually the custom ROM has a payload bin file. Let me show you if I have a custom ROM present here. I'll show you that as well. Just give me a second. This is the custom ROM. This is a payload bin file. So you will have to extract this payload bin file via the fastboot enhance tool. So open the fastboot enhance tool from here. Then go to payload dumper, click on browse, select the payload bin file, click on open. And from here you will have to go to the partition tab and choose the boot or the init boot file. If your phone came with Android 12 or older version, you have to use the boot img. If your phone came with Android 13 or higher version, you have to use the init boot file rooting. So choose the required file, checkmark allow incremental, click on extract image, click on OK, and the file will be extracted. After that, you may simply patch the file via Magisk and flash it via fastboot command. So you could also use this method as well. I have made a video on this as well. So both the methods will work. In fact, all the three methods will work. In the first method, you have to do an ADB sideload of the Magisk zip file if you have a custom recovery. But if there is no recovery, then you could flash the TWRP or Orange Fox and then flash the Magisk zip file. Whereas the third method involves no recovery. You just have to extract the payload bin file, get the boot img or the init boot img file, patch the file via Magisk, as you could see over here, and then flash the file via the fastboot command. So over here, I have flashed the file via fastboot command as well, and finally, you will have obtained root. In my case, let me show you. Now I could launch the Magisk app, and rooting is now complete. So now if you want to root a GSI ROM, then the steps are slightly different. You will have to either you may flash a custom recovery and get the job done, via custom recovery. If your phone has a custom recovery, then simply flash the custom recovery, the WRP recovery or the OrangeFox recovery, then flash the Magisk APK file or the zip file, and that's quite an easy way out. But if your phone does not have any custom recovery, then you will have to take the help of the boot or the init boot file. So you will have to extract the same firmware which was installed onto your phone before you flash the GSI ROM. This is extremely important. You have to extract exactly the same firmware which was installed before you flash the GSI ROM. So extract the boot or the init boot file from the Fastboot Enhance tool, patch the file via Magisk and flash the file via Fastboot command, and after that you will have obtained root. So I have explained everything in my guide and the video. I will link everything in my video description and you could have a look at that. So this is the routing for GSI ROM and this is the routing for the custom ROM. So once you have obtained root, you will now have to flash the LSPOS framework onto your phone as well. So open this link, and if your phone is running Android 15, you have to get hold of a different LSPOS, whereas for Android 14 or older version, you may use the official LSPOS as well. But before that, you will have to enable Zygisk onto your phone. So let's place the Magisk app over here. Launch the Magisk app, tap on the settings icon, enable the toggle next to Zygisk. It's asking for a reboot. We will do a reboot at the end just to save some time. Once you have enabled Zygisk, you will now have to get hold of the LSPOS file. So if you are using Android 14 or older version, you may use this official GitHub LSPOS file. But if you are using the Android 15 or higher version, then you have to use the fork of the LSPOS. This works on Android 15 as well. So I'm using the Android 15 ROM, so I have to use this fork. Download the Zygisk release.zip file. It will take just a few seconds, and now you have to transfer the zip file onto your phone. So this is the zip file. Let me show you one more thing. Also do one more thing. You have to extract the LSPOS file as well. Copy the manager APK file from there, and also transfer this APK file onto your phone. This APK file is the one which will give us the LSPOS APK. So extract the APK from the zip file as well, and transfer then both the files onto your phone. So first off, let me transfer the APK file. Okay, so I cannot directly paste it. So let me first extract the file. It's not a cause of concern. Let's extract it as well over here. And it's extracted. So first off, let's copy the manager APK file and transfer the file onto your phone. This is the LSPOS APK file. Let me rename it as well. It will be easier to remember. So just give me a second. I will rename it to LSPOS. Likewise, also transfer the zip file as well. We flash the zip file via Magisk. So now we have got both the APK and the zip file of LSPOS. Once that is done, we could now move ahead and flash the LSPOS. So simply launch the Magisk app and go to modules, install from storage, select the LSPOS zip file onto your phone, which is this one. Tap on OK, and flashing is now complete. Also install the APK file as well. Let's do that as well. This is the LSPOS APK. Install it as well, but don't launch the app because as of now we have to do a reboot as well. So now tap on reboot, and the phone will now reboot to the OS. And with this, we have the LSPOS app onto our phone. Likewise, we also have enabled Zygisk as well. We'll verify that as well, and once that is done, we could then move ahead with the next step. So let's just wait for the phone to boot up to the OS, and then we'll verify the result as well. And once the LSPOS is installed, we could then move ahead with the next step. This is somewhat lengthy, but trust me, it will get the job done, and this is just a one-time effort. So your phone should now boot to the OS in a few more seconds. And our first course of action is to verify whether LSPOS and Zygisk are enabled or not. So launch Magisk, go to module, and LSPOS is now working. Likewise, Zygisk is shown as yes. And we will now launch the LSPOS app as well. And as you could see, it's now running well and good. It's activated. So let's move ahead with the next step. Now you have to flash the Plain Integrity Fixed module onto your phone as well. Download the zip file from here. It's the latest zip file. Start download, and let's transfer this file onto our phone as well. So I have to change it to file transfer. This takes quite a lot of time every time doing this task. File transfer, and now let's transfer this file onto our phone and flash the file as well. Open Magisk modules, install from storage, and Plain Integrity Fixed module. Tap on OK, and once flashed, tap on reboot, and your phone will now reboot to the OS. So let's just wait, and once that is done, your next course of action is to flash the bootloader spoofer module from GitHub. It's an LS Post module. So let's open it and now download the latest app release.apk. Start download and the file will now be downloaded, and let's transfer this file onto our phone as well. So the file should be somewhat here in the compressed folder. This is the downloads and this is the bootloader spoofer. Let's rename it as well, bootloader spoofer. And now let's transfer this file onto our phone as well. Charging this device, file transfer, copy the APK from here and transfer, paste the APK as well. And the APK file is now there, so let's install it as a normal APK file. It's actually an LS-Post module, internal storage and spoofer APK install, and you will then get a prompt that it's not activated. Tap on the notification, enable the module, and after enabling it you will have to once again do a system UI system restart, or rather the OS restart. So let's do that from here. From the Magisk app, this restart is compulsory, so let's do that as well. And once you have flashed that, you will then have to carry out a few tasks inside the module, the spoofer module. So let's just wait for a few more seconds, and once our phone boot to the OS, we will launch the LS-Post and carry out a few tweaks in the spoofer module. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and then we will have to check mark a few apps and then get the job done. So it will just take around 4 to 5 minutes more, and then we would have achieved success as well. So the phone is now booted to the OS, and let's now launch the LS-Post app, and from here go to the module section, spoofer module, tap on the overflow icon, and then you have to go to the hide section and uncheck system apps, and you will now get all the system apps as well. So after that you will now have to check mark the following apps as shown here: the system framework, the Android system web view, this one. Then we have the Google and the Google Play Store, so let's check out that as well. The Google app, the Google Play Store, which is in fact the Play Store, simply the Play Store, not the Google Play Store. Just give me a second, so I'll have to verify the name as well. Google Play Store, then Google Play Services, after that Magisk as well, and Android system UI with Android system. I'll have to see what app exactly is that. Android system, this one, then system UI and WhatsApp. So system UI should be at the very end. Let me verify it once, system UI, and finally it's the WhatsApp. Let's check mark that as well. Once that is done, you will now have to remove the data of Play Service, Play Store and WhatsApp. Settings, apps, see all apps, tap here and select show system, and Play Store and Play Store, storage and cache, clear storage, delete. Then do the same with the Play Service as well. Storage and cache, clear storage, clear all data, delete. And then you have to do the same for the WhatsApp. So just give me a second. Let's search for WhatsApp. Well, that's strange. It's not shown here. I don't know why that is the case. This is WhatsApp, storage and cache, clear storage from here as well. And once that is done, you will now have to install the key attestation app and only then do a restart. So let's first install this app onto our phone. It's just a normal APK file. Download the APK from here. It's a small APK, it will take only a few seconds. Now transfer the APK file onto your phone, copy it and transfer it from here. Paste the APK file over here. Then install the app. It's a normal APK, not a module or anything as such. Install the APK from here, key attestation APK. And once that is done, don't launch the APK. Instead, launch LS-Post. And please check mark the key attestation app now as well. By default, it will be unchecked. So please check mark this app. It's extremely important. I'm again repeating, it's very important. Check mark this app, and once that is done, you will now have to do a restart. This is the final restart. So let's do that as well. And after this, we don't have to do any restart. Now you have to launch the key attestation app and verify that the bootloader is shown as logged and we have spoofed it successfully. If that is not the case, then this means something is wrong from our end and we will have to carry out some other tweaks and rectification as well. So let's wait for the phone to boot to the OS, and then first and foremost we will launch the app and verify the result. you might get a some issue with regard to the keychain attestation. That is not a cause of concern. We just have to make sure that the bootloader is logged. This is the spoofing message which should show. So now, as you could see in the ls post in the module, it's currently checkmarked. So now you could launch the key attestation app, and as you could see, the bootloader is logged. This is what was required. This is not the correct message. It's just a false spoof message, because obviously we are running a rooted custom ROM. So in reality, it's currently unlogged, but we have spoofed the status to logged. The certificate change is not important. You could ignore that. This is the most important part. Since it's now logged, you will now launch the WhatsApp and use it without any issue. As you could see, it's now working on my phone. Just type in the required phone number and hit next, and you will get the OTP on your phone, and that's just about it. You will get an OTP. You may type in the OTP and the WhatsApp will now work accordingly without any issue whatsoever. So guys, this was all from this guide on how you could use WhatsApp on any GSI and custom ROM. Just to round off, you will first have to root the ROM via Magisk, either using the ADB sideload or the TWRP Orange Fox recovery. Then install LSPOS framework. Then flash the Plain Integrity Fix module. Then flash the bootloader spoofer module from GitHub. It's an LSPOS module. Then launch the LSPOS module. Go to this spoofer module section and make sure to uncheck system apps. And now you have to checkmark the following apps: System Framework, Android System WebView, Google Play Store, Play Service, Magisk, Android System, System UI, and WhatsApp. After that, remove the data from Play Store, Play Service, and WhatsApp. Then you have to install the key attestation app. Then again launch the module and make sure to checkmark key attestation app as well. And then finally do a restart and verify that strong as bootloader is logged. Once that is the case, then you may use the WhatsApp without any issue. So guys, on that note, we round up this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.